How are you so convinced it's going to be going up in price 20 to 40% a year over the next, let's say, 10 to 20 years?
Michael Saylor gives another must-see explanation on why Bitcoin is going up forever.
You have to buy something with price, supply, inelasticity.
And in this clip from the Iced Coffee Hour podcast, Michael Saylor does the impossible.
So what is the one thing on the earth that you can buy where they can't make more of?
I would say beachfront real estate.
Convinces Stephan, the biggest real estate bull on financial YouTube, that buying Bitcoin today is a better opportunity than even beachfront real estate.
Beachfront real estate is the closest conventional idea.
And watch today's whole video. Pop star Iggy Azalea calls out the founder of Ethereum for gas fees and more.
That's rich. Let's talk about the gas fees, but the gas tax.
This is everything you need to know going on in crypto today. That's why you subscribe. And let's start another must-see explanation on why Bitcoin is going up forever.
Beachfront real estate would be one of them, but also Bitcoin.
Beachfront real estate is the closest conventional idea to a scarce desirable asset that the politicians can't make more of. What is it the government can't print more of? They can print more bonds. Mm-hmm. They will issue trillions of dollars of bonds. They can print more currency, so don't buy that. Corporations can manufacture more Hershey's bars and more Kellogg cereal and more, Netflix can stream more videos. Mm-hmm. Right? So anything a company can create more of in a factory you don't want to buy. Anything an AI can create. Yeah, you want to buy, art rights. Well, if the AI can generate infinite free art personalized, then those rights might not be worth anything. So you don't want anything a robot can do. You don't want anything an AI can create. You don't want anything a manufacturer can create. You don't want anything a politician can create. You ask the question, what's the thing that's least likely to be taxed or expropriated, seized from you? Okay, and so Bitcoin's interesting and beachfront property is interesting, but beachfront property it's illegal to buy it in certain countries. In the UAE, you couldn't buy it if you wanted to. You have to be a member of the royal family to buy it. That's actually a law. In Florida, the beachfront property comes with a 2% property tax. So that means that you can buy it, but you're going to have to come up with an equivalent amount of cash to pay the tax to keep it for 30 years. But another way to say it is, over 30 years or 20 years, the state's just going to take it away from you. So maybe you want to buy some floating property that doesn't have a 2% tax on it. And the advantage of Bitcoin is maybe Bitcoin isn't property in Florida, but you can buy beachfront property in Wyoming. I guess you can't. No, right? So how do you move your beachfront property to Wyoming? Tricky. With Bitcoin, you can actually move your Bitcoin from Florida to Wyoming. And in the worst case, you could put it with a custodian in Singapore or Monaco or London, right? Carry it with you. So it's less likely to get a property tax. If you own the best building in a country where there's a coup d'etat, they're taking your building. Like, look at what happened to everybody that owned property in Cuba. Castro took it all, right? And so you're asking the fundamental question, why do I think Bitcoin will keep going up? Because every other investment is being diluted. It's either being mismanaged. Like you want to buy Kodak stock or Xerox stock? How'd that work out for you, right? Either your competitor destroys you, the management team destroys you, or it gets unionized. What happened to, if you buy a car company that gets unionized and then it gets bankrupted by the union, maybe that wasn't a good investment. So companies have tariff risk, union risk, competitive risk, tax risk, execution risk, nexus risk. Alibaba was a good company, but maybe they can't do business in the US, right? So did you want to put all your money into a company that'll get banned in the country you live in? That's the challenge there. All that stack of risks, you can easily say that adds up to about 7% per year. If the return on the S&P index is 7%, if I could get the risk to go away, the return would be 14%. And so that's what we call equity risks. And there's a bunch of them. But if I go to property, real estate, Maybe the real estate gets rent controlled. Maybe the real estate gets taxed. Maybe the tax increases. Maybe the real estate is struck by a tsunami. Maybe the real estate rusts. Maybe the real estate the neighborhood goes bad. Maybe people stop coming to the city, right? You had the best real estate in a city that died because the industry died, right? Maybe the country fails. Maybe the state fails, right? Real estate, in theory, is scarce desirable, but we can make more land. Half of Miami Beach is all just man-made. Half of Boston is man-made. Look at Emirates, a lot of man-made stuff. Go to Monaco right now. If the value of your land goes up too high, they just build out and they'll reclaim the ocean. The entire airport in Hong Kong's made on reclaimed land. Yeah. So even land itself isn't truly scarce. And of course, ultimately, there's plenty of real estate in the world. I mean, if you fly over the United States and you look down, you'll notice that 98% of the country is not occupied. Mm-hmm. Land doesn't make a good treasury asset. The ideal asset for a corporation or a wealthy person is an asset which is liquid and fungible. So I've got a certain amount of money, and on Saturday afternoon, if I need to raise cash, is there somebody somewhere in the world that will create a market for the thing that I have to sell? And there is a market for Bitcoin on Saturday afternoon worldwide. In fact, it's the greatest global market. There's not a market for your ranch in Texas on Saturday afternoon.
Awesome podcast appearance. I'll link the full episode down below. Now let's talk altcoins, Iggy Azalea, and Ethereum. Also, Michael Saylor's best interview, how Bitcoin will explode to $100 million. I'll link this down below as well. But pop star Iggy Azalea just said this about Vitalik and Ethereum's gas fees.
I'm not mad at this man's opinion. Whatever. I question what you're doing with gas money, so it's rich.
Actually, just to set this up for a little bit of context, Iggy Azalea recently launched a meme coin called Mother on the Solana blockchain. Basically another meme coin launched by a celebrity, nothing really special. Although Mother is the second largest asset by market cap to emerge from meme coin factory Pump.Fun. The outpost is partially responsible for flooding Solana with 500,000 new tokens in May alone. Like many meme coins, Mother claims no value proposition whatsoever. So obviously the differentiator with this meme coin is that Iggy Azalea is backing it, although Vitalik has not been impressed. On Wednesday, the Ethereum founder, Vitalik Buterin, blasted celebrity tokens in general that touted financialization as a means to an end and lack some greater purpose. Iggy sensed he was throwing some shade and in response tweeted this: Vitalik was just hangry, and obviously Iggy acting as mother to Vitalik, and now she's coming after Vitalik's Ethereum for the gas fees.
This man's opinion, whatever. I question what you're doing with gas money, so it's rich of you to have an opinion about charities and hospitals, whatever the f you're saying. I'm like, that's rich. Let's talk about the gas fees, but the gas tax. Okay. Maybe some people shouldn't have an opinion sometimes.
Wow. Maybe some people shouldn't have an opinion sometimes. Yet, both Ethereum and altcoins and Bitcoin are thriving. The 34 Bitcoin ETFs now hold over 1.03 million BTC. They bought 5% of the entire Bitcoin supply in 6 months. The asset is getting scarcer, and also for Ethereum. Ethereum's supply on exchanges is at an 8-year low. Ethereum ETFs are about to cause a massive supply shock. The direction of this trend is pretty telling. And checking in on altcoin news, the Cookie 3 is less than a week away, and I'm expecting this to absolutely send, lads. So I am an investor in Cookie as well as advisor, and here are a few reasons that many people are bullish. Cookie 3 is a marketing fi and AI data layer designed for Web3. Basically, it helps for marketing and community building for businesses, creators, and users. Cookie 3 for Web3 functions similarly to how Google Analytics works for Web2. Holding Cookie gives you access to exclusive KOL rounds and token airdrops. And of course, backed by the Spartan Group and Animoca brands. Spartan Group, one of Cookie's lead investors, has an average retail ROI of 17.13x, with some of their more notable investments in projects being in projects like Solana, Polygon, and Celestia. So disrupting marketing and community building, Cookie definitely a newer coin to watch. Obviously, always more we could get into. Today is just sort of a jumping off point. Also join us for Bitcoin Nashville, July 25th through 27th. Use code ALTCOINDAILY for 10% off your ticket. This is going to be such an epic conference. Come out, hang out, link down below. See you there.